Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on April the 17th, 2020. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. All right, so overall, in terms of what's going on in the market, we are seeing that the number of coronavirus deaths have actually gone up in the US. And aside from that, on the other hand, though, I should say, there are some places that will be opening up. Some gyms in Utah will be opening up soon. So that's so it looks like they're trying to open up the economy, come out of that lockdown. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, there was news in regards to oil. We saw that, or there were comments from both Russia and Saudi Arabia that they're reaching an agreement and they're going to take further measures to stabilize oil. Other than that, there was another big news that just came out not too long ago. That was in regards to one of the vaccines that that may be working for the coronavirus. And as a result of that, and this came in the Asian session just at the beginning here, and it pushed the market up. All the yen crosses got pushed up and the equities pushed up as a result of this positive news. So this is what we have going on at this point. Coming up here on Friday, not a ton of important data. We do have CPI numbers here, and again, if these are below expectations, that will be negative for the Eurozone. But other than that, not a ton going on here. So let's go on to our charts now. We'll start off with our euro here. Yesterday, we were looking for a drop. We did get that. And now, so bias is bearish here. And in terms of a pullback, so I'm looking for price to pull back essentially into, it could go higher into 1.0880 before we see a turnaround. So we could see something like this, but overall bias is bearish, and target here would be 1.0770. So bearish bias for euro dollar here. All right, so moving on to, and actually the second target here, we're looking at 1.0720. Moving on to pound dollar here, this one is bearish as well. We saw that price did drop today. And now we are seeing a pullback here. So with this one, it will be interesting to see how the market reacts to this news of the vaccine coming out. The concern though is that the vaccine will not be ready for quite a few months. So we'll have to see the market reaction as a result of that. There was a quick jump up, so we'll have to see if that continues or is it going to drop back down. So keep an eye on that, because if the markets are very optimistic about the vaccine, then we are likely to see all the currencies go up against the US dollar. So euro, pound, Aussie, New Zealand, all of them are likely to go up. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind here. And but otherwise, bias is still bearish here. We are right into that pullback area. We could go a little bit higher here into 1.2520. And then I would look for a further move to the downside. So here as well, looking for a drop. So bias here is bearish here. And first target is 1.3400. And then below that, we're looking at 1.2320. Aussie dollar here, this one we have, we saw a drop here, but then price has moved up again, and we have actually a bullish pin bar here. So bias here is slightly bullish. I'm not very bullish on it. But with this one, with the news of the vaccine, this one could go higher. So we do need to keep an eye on it. It's already into this first target here. And a next target would be 0.6450. However, we could see a move like this. So that's something to watch out for. If it fails to go through 0.6380, then we could see a drop there. For now, though, the move here is, or the bias is bullish for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one is bullish still, but as we can see with the news of the vaccine, we are seeing a move to the upside here. So in this case, I am a neutral here. I'm going to keep an eye and see how things play out here, because what we could see is this is a nice support resistance area. So we could see price go higher into 0.6020 potentially, and then drop from there, because we have had this move. So it could be a pullback and a drop. So that's something we have to see. And also the market sentiment based on the vaccine news. So for now, though, bias is neutral. I'm looking for a pullback into 0.6020. If it holds below, I'm looking for a drop towards back into 0.5920. And then next target here will be 0.5880, but bias here is neutral. If it goes through this level, then we could see price go all the way up into 0.6065 and potentially all the way into 0.6130. So keep an eye on the resistance level here. Dollar CAD here, this one is interesting. We do have a bearish pin bar here. So just the opposite move of our New Zealand dollar. Both, they're all commodity currencies, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and Canadian dollar here. So they tend to move together. Now, with the news from Saudi Arabia and or the news that from Saudi Arabia and Russia giving a joint statement that was positive for the oil, and as a result it's positive for Canadian dollar. So we have a bearish pin bar here. Next target is 1.400, and then below that we're looking at 1.3920. So bias is bearish here. Now keep in mind though, similar to other crosses here, if we see that price holds above 1.40, this one could go up further, so watch out for that. But for now, bias is bearish for dollar CAD. All right, let's take a look at our silver here. Silver is holding above our support level here. So at this point, there are pins, multiple pins into the support level, which means price is holding above this level. And if it continues to hold above this 1520 level, chances are it's going to go higher into 15.80 here. So right now, it's actually bias is neutral here. Because if it doesn't break below this, we are very likely to go higher. So watch out for the support level at 15.20. Target is 15.80. It's the first target, and then 16.40 will be the second target here for silver. Gold here, this one is looking a bearish here. The technical, as we can see, the technical candle or the technicals are telling us this is bearish. However, the news that just came out that there is a vaccine that is working, or essentially is working. It still needs to go through the whole process, which could take a year, but this is positive news for the market. So equity markets have gone up, and so has gold as well. So in this case, what I'm looking for is if the price holds below the 1720 level or 1722 level, then we could see a turnaround here. So something like this, and I will look for price to retest this 1700 level, and should it go through that, then we're looking at 1689 and 1680. Now, the correlation here would be to the equities market, so we need to keep an eye on equities. If there's a lot of positive sentiment, then this is likely to go up as well. But based on technicals, bias is bearish for gold. First target is 1700 and then 1680. Oil here, as we can see, oil, we have a neutral candle close here. Price went into the support here. So in spite of all those positive things that we have heard from Saudi Arabia and Russia, this one hasn't really moved very much. And part of the problem with oil is the lack of demand. With everything shut down right now, the demand is just not there. So even with the production cuts, it's hard to move it. But right now, as we can see, prices into support here, 25.20 level. And so this is the support level. And if it holds above this, then we could see price go all the way up. Another level to watch here will be this 27.20 level. If price holds below the 27.20 level, then we could see a move like that. Price could drop from there. So for now, neutral bias for oil. And I'm basically watching 27.20. If it holds below, then I would look for a further drop. But this one, I think, could pull back higher, actually, all the way into this 28.80 level before it drops. So it could pull all the way into that because we have a bearish move and then a pullback and then a drop. So for now, neutral bias for oil. Copper here, this one is looking bullish. Actually not too bullish. Doesn't look like it moved a whole lot. It's still kind of stuck in that range that it's been trading in. Now it jumped as a result of the vaccine news, went right into this resistance level. So if it holds below 2.30, I'm looking for a drop back into 2.23 here. So right now, basically looking for a drop back into the bottom of the range. And if it goes through, we're looking at 2.20. So bearish bias here for copper. Bitcoin here, this one actually went up today. We see that price came to test this support level. This is where price has turned previously. So now we do have a bullish candle close here. Next target, it's pretty much went into the next target, which was 72.30 level here. And if it continues higher, we're looking at 74.80 level. So for now, bias is bullish, but this support resistance level at 72.30 is an important level. If it manages to hold below this, then we could see another drop. So do keep an eye out for this level here. For now, bias is bullish for Bitcoin. All right, equities markets here, starting with our S&P 500. So this is quite interesting here. We do see that price went into the support level here. So let's take a look at an hourly chart. See how price gapped up. And this gap up here was because of the news about the vaccine. But as we can see, price has been stuck into the support level for a while, and now it has moved up from here. So in this case, we'll have to see whether price is able to push through this resistance level at 2,900. But if it doesn't, then chances are we will see that gap getting filled and we could see price come back down all the way into 2750. So a bias is neutral here. And usually a lot of times what happens is these quick moves tend to fade. So we could see price come back down. For now though, I'm just going to say neutral because market sentiment right now is driving a lot of things, and that can be very finicky. So for now, neutral bias. If it manages to go through that, then next target that we're looking at here would be 2980. Nasdaq here, same thing. We saw quite a jump here when the news about the vaccine came, went right into this resistance level here as well. If you take a look at the 1 hour, we see this gap here. So I'm looking for this gap to fill. But overall, we could see price basically drop and then go back up. But if Depends on how Asia treats it and London treats it. So we'll have to see. Right now, what I'm looking for is this level at 9,000. If it holds below 9,000, then I will look for a move back down. And in that case, first target here would be 87.20 and then back into 8,500. So keep an eye out on this 99,000 level basically. Dow Jones here, same thing. We see that price hopped up all the way. It was holding here at the support level. So this week here, price is just basically traded sideways here. Hasn't really done a whole lot, back and forth between 24,000 and 23,000. But this news here pushed it higher. And now we're not quite into that resistance. Let's see where it jumped up to. So this support resistance level, this is where it hopped onto. With this one here, again, bias here is neutral. What I'm basically looking for is a pullback back into this level here, 23,880 level. If it holds above that level, we could see a further move to the downside, or it could just continue back into 23,000 level. So right now, bias is neutral for Dow Jones as well. DAX here, DAX chart has not been updated yet, but I would expect this one to basically pop up all the way either into 10,700 or even into 10,800. The level to watch here would be this 10,820 level. If it holds below that level, then basically we're looking for price to move back down towards the bottom of the range. So this one is also range bound. The entire week this has been range bound here. So bias for DAX here is neutral as well. And FTSE here. FTSE, we do have a bit of a bullish candle close, but I would expect the same thing, a move up. And with this one, I would look at 5,800. If it holds below 5,800, I would look for a move back down towards the support level. So right now, neutral bias for FTSE as well. And here we are in Nikkei. Nikkei usually, well, because it's open in the Asian session, this tends to give us a bit of a story of what's going on. This is also neutral. Today's candle close is completely neutral. We see that price is holding above this 19,000 level. But as we can see, price jumped right into that resistance level. And it really depends on what the sentiment will do here. If it holds below this 19,835 level, then basically I'm looking for a move back towards the support and essentially that type of a move, so sideways move here. Now, should the positive sentiment come in strong in the London session, we could see a further move to the upside towards 20,200 level, which is the next support resistance level. So for now, bias is neutral for Nikkei as well. So overall here, I'm expecting a bit of volatility in the market, and we'll see how the market absorbs the news. But the volatility here is likely to go through different sessions. So as the traders wake up in the different sessions in different countries, we're likely to see this rolling volatility impact. So keep that in mind. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful trading day. And then I will be back on Sunday with the weekly analysis. Bye for now.